Hey everybody, Brian Mast here. I can tell you that it is never lost on me. The most important part of my job as a member of Congress is serving you, the constituents. You are the reason for our work, and everybody in our offices, both in Washington, D.C. and home in Florida's 21st Congressional District, and it is an honor. My offices will always work to ensure your voices are heard and that your questions and concerns with federal agencies are addressed and answered. This year was no exception, so let's look at the numbers. 1,558. That is the number of constituent cases that were closed this past year. It means that when you reached out, whether Florida or Washington, D.C., to any of our offices, my team stepped in. And while we can never guarantee an outcome, we can guarantee that we will treat your problems the same way that we would treat it as if it was a member of my own family. And if it's an emergency for you, I promise you it is an emergency for me. Of those 1,558 people we helped, 204 were with Social Security Administration, 152 with the IRS, 231 with the Department of Veterans Affairs, 284 with immigration concerns, 124 with passport issues. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you have a problem with the federal government, if it can't wait, get somebody on the phone. Reach out to my office. We are here to help every single day. We're here to help. We check the messages over the weekend. We respond to people by text, by email, by phone call, by letter, whatever it has to be. We work on your terms. 185,076. That's how many messages were responded to. Now, whether you contacted us by phone or letter or email, we made sure that you received a response. I want to sincerely thank everyone who took the time to reach out and engage with our office this year. We are fortunate to live in a democracy, but that only works when people make their voices heard. I look forward to hearing from you even more in 2026. Beyond the numbers, I also had the distinct privilege to honor fallen members of our community, which is an incredible honor that will never be taken lightly. This year I stood with President Trump in the Oval Office to meet with the families of 3 Palm Beach County Sheriff deputies who were killed last November. We recognized their sacrifice by awarding the first ever Medals of Sacrifice. Our community's fallen law enforcement officers were the first in the country to receive this new award directly from the president. While I hope another medal never needs to be given, I introduced the Medal of Sacrifice Act, which would grant this medal to every law enforcement officer and first responder killed in the line of duty. We will never be able to truly thank the officers who have lost their lives or the families that have lost their loved one. This medal, it's just a small way to express our eternal gratitude to those heroes and their loved ones. Their courage and their sacrifice, it will never be forgotten.
To me, the military was a calling. I grew up always knowing that I wanted to defend this great country, something that I was born to do. I was like a round peg in a round hole. And now during my time in Congress, one of my highest priorities has been and will continue to be standing with my brothers and my sisters in arms, both during and after their service. Now, this year in Congress, we focused on one simple mission: delivering for the men and women who protect our freedoms. Now, first, we had to fund our military and give them the resources that they need. Now, thankfully, at the end of this year, Congress passed the National Defense Authorization Act, ensuring that our military has the resources, the readiness, the support needed to help keep Americans safe in dangerous parts of this world, which is every time they step out the door on mission, they head to a dangerous part of the world. Now, from bombs to bullets, from defense systems to military pay, the NDAA covers all of it. And I was proud to stand on the House floor and support that piece of legislation. But a strong national defense, it doesn't just mean well-funded military. It also means honoring those who wear the uniform and supporting them long after their service ends. That's why this year, with the help of the Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins, we reopened the first ever congressional office inside of the VA hospital right here in Florida, West Palm Beach, bringing constituent services directly to veterans where they receive their care. You all that know me know that we've been working on this back and forth since I've been in the House of Representatives. Sometimes we've had administrations that have kicked me out of the VA, and then of course Republican administrations have allowed me in the VA to serve my veteran brothers and sisters in arms like you all. So I'm thankful that the Trump administration worked this year to say, all right, we're going to let you back into the VA to go out there and work for your fellow veterans. No red tape, no runaround, just help where it's needed most, in the most convenient way possible for our veterans. That's what we try to deliver. And if you're a veteran in or around the 21st Congressional District and you need assistance, do not hesitate to reach out to my office. If you see me on the street, to stop me and tell me what your concerns are. Stop by the Thomas H. Corey VA Medical Center and see us in our office there, previously called the West Palm Beach Medical Center, by the way. We renamed that this year also. My staff is there weekly and they are there to help. Now, lastly, we also took action to honor their ultimate sacrifice. This year, I introduced what we call the Final Honors Act. This legislation, it gives families of service members who are killed in the line of duty the option to have their lost loved one lie in state beneath the rotunda of the United States Capitol, giving our nation a chance to formally honor heroes who gave everything in defense of freedom, in defense of our country, in defense of those that they never knew. That is a way for people in our country to truly show that we are a grateful nation for that service. This bill is about respect. It's about gratitude. It's about remembering the cost of the liberties that we enjoy, that being those service members who go out every single day to defend that. Now, as a veteran and somebody who lost many friends in defense of our great nation, this work is very personal. It's about service to our country, to our community, and to the people who sacrificed more than most could ever possibly imagine. I'm going to keep fighting for the men and women who fight for us. They are my family. I couldn't be more proud than to have them as my family. And I'm going to fight for them every single day with results, accountability, and with respect.
From the moment I came to Congress, I made one thing clear. Protecting clean water is not optional. It is a daily fight. It's one of the most important issues facing our community. We've had meaningful victories, major wins, but the job is never finished. Clean water is about public health. It's environmental stewardship, protecting our way of life here in Florida, not just yours, but that of my family as well. This year, I reintroduced 3 key pieces of legislation: the Stop Poisoning Florida Act, the Toxic Health Threat Warning Act, and the Protect Florida Act. Because no Floridian should ever be forced to live with toxic chemicals in their water. That's just common sense. The EPA itself even acknowledged these discharges pose a threat to human health. Now, I've always said it plainly. If you wouldn't want it in the bathtub with your kids, then we don't want it in our waterways. These bills are common sense and designed to protect people, number one. Now, while I think there is a role for the federal government when it comes to protecting our waterways and our water quality, Florida has proven that smart water policy works best when it starts at the local level. That's why I joined my friend and former colleague, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. We used to sit together on the Committee of Foreign Affairs right next to each other for years. And I joined him to announce a new proposal that would finally provide clear definition of something that has gone back and forth, administration to administration in the courts, what's known as waters of the United States. We are fixing the confusing, overreaching policies of the Biden administration and protecting clean water without letting Washington, D.C. regulate every single mud puddle that exists out there. This proposal, it restores balance and puts decision-making back where it belongs with the communities who know their waters best, and it follows what the court decision was. Across our state, communities manage their water with care, balancing conservation and economic growth and the health of our communities, from local water management to city utilities and environmental partners. This is what takes place. And we work to protect our local resources. Florida understands our waterways, our ecosystems, and our residents understand. And this is different than me bringing in my colleagues from places like New York or Washington State or other places that don't understand our waterways. So I want to bring up an event that I got the opportunity to lead this year. It was one of my funnest events of the year. I had the privilege of hosting this year's Everglades Summit in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital. The summit brought together a bipartisan group of lawmakers and scientists and clean water advocates to send a clear message. The fight is far from over. We know there are powerful interests that want control over Florida's water, but we've proven that standing together works. Securing record funding, stopping bad legislation, building a statewide coalition committed to protecting our future. That is what we've done. I'm proud of what we've accomplished so far, and I'm ready to keep fighting for clean water, healthy communities, and Florida's way of life in the next year. It's my favorite fight.
So when I was first sworn into Congress, I made sure that I would be placed on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee because it puts me in the best possible position to fight for our community's most pressing issues. Now, one of the biggest breakthroughs that we've had this year, after a very long time coming on fighting for this issue, the final ruling on the St. Lucie Railroad Bridge schedule. Now, go back to 2021. Brightline had announced that it would be running basically 36 passenger trains per day, in addition to the busy freight train schedule that was already in place across the single track drawbridge going over the St. Lucie waterway. So our community rallied together and made it clear that boaters needed access to their water. Water has the right of way. Boaters have the right of way, full stop. It's hard to understate how important this issue is for our home, for our community. Water isn't just vital to our economic success, it's the way of life for our community. Whether we're fishing, whether we're boating, whether we're just going out to the sandbar, whether we're traversing to a friend's house, going out to dinner, going to the downtown docks, whatever it is, it's related to water. That's why I even invited the new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, one of my former colleagues and a friend, to visit our district and take a look for himself.
I want to ask you three just quick questions, or bring your attention to three quick things. Just number one, I'd ask for, because I was observing the committee hearings from another room, and I noticed that nobody asked you to come to their district yet. So I believe in first come, first serve. So I just want to say, please take the time, come down to my district. There's a few things that I want to show you, and since I was the first one to ask, that means I get priority.
The senators were much more aggressive on coming to states.
Second thing I'd ask you to just take time to review is the mega grant program. Under the previous administration, there was guidance that if there was a grant received on one front, and if, for example, if you're doing a rail line, obviously rail lines are long, they span entire states and multi-states, that you couldn't necessarily have another grant in a different area. I would ask that you would review that and see if we're going to have the same guidance under the Trump administration than under the Biden administration.
With the Coast Guard publishing the final schedule for the St. Lucie River Bridge, the recreational boating community and the commercial boating industry now have a predictable and reliable schedule in law, in statute. So boaters will have access to their waterway, traversing through that area where the bridges are without having to wait for the train bridge to be down 50% of the time at bare minimum. I want to switch gears to something different but related. For many in the Fort Pierce community, Florida East Coast Rail has been a bad neighbor. For years, we've seen trash and debris piling up along their tracks, old tires, broken railroad ties, junk left scattered throughout neighborhoods, no ability for them to go out there and decide that they're going to cut the grass, keep things looking tidy around our community. Instead of owning up to it, they sued the city of Fort Pierce in federal court, all because our zoning commission in Fort Pierce asked them to do one simple thing: clean up the mess that you're leaving behind. But it didn't stop there. FEC partnered then with Waste Management to haul in trash from Miami and dump it right here in our own backyard and haul it into Fort Pierce in order to do so. That is having a major effect on our community. Now I want to be fair about a couple of things. After we brought to attention all of the garbage that was laying around, FEC tried to do a better job of cleaning up that garbage, and they were largely successful in that. I'm not going to say totally successful, but they did a better job at cleaning up that garbage, and I appreciate that. They still, to my knowledge, have not dropped the federal lawsuit that may be coming in the future, but it hasn't taken place yet. To me, that's not being a good neighbor. Now, I want to go back to what we're talking about with the trash coming in from Miami. neither FEC or Waste Management gave a rat's tail end about the way that would affect our Fort Pierce community. Bringing in load after load of garbage every single day, bringing it through our streets, having it sit behind people's homes. They didn't give a rat's caboose about what that was going to do to our community, and they still don't care because we've been having this fight for the last year, and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it, saying, well, maybe they're going to create some rail spur in the future, in 2 or 3 years from now, and that might be something that could affect it. And by the way, this is while the train line, FEC and Brightline, working in conjunction with one another, are asking for hundreds of millions of dollars from the federal government to beef up their track system. So they want your money, but they don't want to be a good partner to our community. That is a serious problem to me. They need to clean up the trash. They need to stop bringing garbage into our community, and they need to respect the city of Fort Pierce. Now, I've told the city of Fort Pierce this. I don't think that they've done a great job in really going out there and holding FEC and Waste Management to account for this either. They could be doing a number of things that they're not doing right now. We can get into all of that in another video, but they need to do a lot more to go out there and fight for our community so that we don't have that garbage coming in. And I've given them a lot of ideas on how to go out there and do that. I've yet to see them take one of them up. Now, whether it's tackling our local problem or something we're dealing with nationwide, I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the Transportation Committee here in Washington, D.C. to keep our country moving forward every single day.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.